it was all about being in real time. Did you learn that from him?
I wouldn't say I learned it from him. I think it's a quarterback's job to take control of the huddle and make the offense his own, and really mold it the way that he and his coaches see it. So that's all I'm trying to do. I'm learning every single day and adapting and trying to be better.
Joe, I know you had a fumbled snap and an interception late there on in practice, but how do you feel you performed overall in your first padded practice?
Um, it was okay. It wasn't, what you'd like to see on a red zone day, but it was the first one. It started raining a little bit. Obviously I'd like to play better than I did, and I know as an offense we'd like to play better than we did.
Did
how
rain
good was it?
affect you?
Go ahead, Tom.
Did the rain affect you at all in that fumble snap?
Yeah, it was a little slippery, but we'll work those kinks out. It's day one.
Yeah, how good was that, Joe? It's obviously different. You get some live rush and whatnot. How good was that to finally see that and go through that?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good to be back out there in pads, and a lot of people were talking about how weird it felt to put the shoulder pads on because they haven't been on in so long. But it was good to be back out there.
Did it feel faster at all, or did it just normal?
Red zone always feels faster than an open field. Today was our red zone day, and so that was my first taste of NFL red zone. So I'm gonna hopefully play better the next time we do red zone. I played really well the last 2 days, so I'm gonna really focus on the red zone.
Joe, when you look at when you've been studying tape throughout the offseason, what's the biggest thing that you've seen in terms of the NFL red zone compared to college red zone? What are the biggest differences?
I haven't really focused on red zone too much. That's more of a game plan specific thing. Obviously the windows are a lot tighter. You have to be quicker in your feet and decision making, and no negative plays. Those are just general red zone things, but the windows are definitely tighter.
Have you been able to simulate the windows, or is it even possible to simulate the windows when you're just training at home? It happens, or when you're just watching tape? Do you just need reps to be able to get a feel for how quickly they close at this level?
Yeah, there's a feeling out process. You have the timing that you expect in the red zone, and you try to get that down in individual routes, and every guy runs their route different. So, your feet are different for every guy that runs the route, depending on who's out there. And then your feet also have to be different depending on the red zone coverage and the red zone players on defense. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Well, I know you can control only can control what you can control, but no John Ross due to sickness in the family. T. Higgins has missed a few practices. AJ missed today. You're trying to get everything timed up with these guys, and it's kind of intermittent in terms of being availability to practice. Is there any frustration there? Or, all you can do is what you can do, right?
Yeah, I'm focused right now, getting better every single day. And, we don't need those guys today. We need them in 28 days. So
yes,
they need to do what they need to do to get healthy. And, we're going to continue to get better.
So you said you had played pretty well. You looked really good yesterday. What's the difference the pads being on? Is it that much of a difference when you have I think it's the first time you had the pads on since you won the national championship, right? Is it that much of a difference to get used to?
No, it was just first red zone day. Defenses are a little different. The routes are different. The timing is different. So first red zone day, there's always a little kinks to work out. So we'll work those out and we'll get better.
It looks like you're already building a solid connection with Tyler Boyd. Why are things clicking so far with him?
He has great body language in his routes. I understand when he's going to break, and he knows where I expect to put the ball, and I know where he wants the ball put on every route to every coverage. So things are going really well so far. We're going to continue to build that relationship along with all the other guys.
The strength of yours has been when the play breaks down. It looked like in 7-on-7 you had a play like that with Tyler, where it broke down, and it looked like both you guys relied on your instincts. I don't know if you can walk us through that particular throw if you remember it.
In the red zone, a lot of touchdowns come outside the structure of the offense. You dial a play up to a certain coverage in the red zone, and maybe you don't get it. and there's not a lot of room to, kind of improvise outside of it. So you have to get outside the pocket. You have to extend plays. You have to allow your guys to find the windows and get open. And so that's something that I've always taken pride in, and I know that our coaches are putting a big emphasis on it.
Joe, throughout the offseason, y'all were doing the huddles or mimicking the huddles on the Zoom. What was it like to, be able to get out and to have those, be able to deliver those in person? And do you feel like all the reps that you met on Zoom, they really did translate over to the real life snaps and huddles?
Yeah, that was the one thing that I was kind of worried about was hearing the play in the helmet and calling it in the huddle, and hasn't been a problem so far. So I've been very happy with the way I've done that.
Joe, how much are you learning about pushing the ball downfield in the league right now in practices? And are you trying to take that bit by bit in taking maybe riskier throws to see what that looks like and so those windows look like, as opposed to checking stuff down? Or where are you at and kind of getting a feel for that part of the game right now?
So there's two parts of that. We're starting, it's the first week of real practice, so we're not blowing our guys out running 50 yards down the field. We want to kind of build them up to it. But also for me individually in practice, I think it's important for me in my first real live situations to see what I can get away with, make some throws that I maybe wouldn't make in a game, and see, hey, this is what you can do. This is what you can't do. This is what I did last year. Maybe I can't do that now. So it's kind of two sides to that.
Joe, talk about your relationship with the offensive line. Several of them have already complimented you about your ability to show that leadership style. Talk about how you're building a rapport with them.
Those guys have to be my best friends. I have to make them happy so they fight for me, and that's something that I've always tried to do. They're gonna have some nice Christmas presents this year, so I hope they're looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to working with them.
Joe, how much are you looking forward to being able to use guys like Gio and Joe Mixon in the passing game? Can you take any of what you did with Clyde at LSU and use that, here, just kind of those ideas?
Yeah, for sure. They're both, I think can be very effective out of the backfield. And it's all about me personally getting through my reads quickly and getting them the ball as fast as I can, if nothing else is open, so they can make plays in space against linebackers and safeties that are going to be covering them.
Joe, in terms of improvising, extending, creating plays, what kind of percentage of your 60, touchdowns, and then what kind of percentage of red zone touchdowns were improvised, just off the top of your head? Do you have any idea?
Probably 25% of the red zone, 25-30% of the red zone touchdowns. Like I said, it's difficult down there because you have the end line, so defenses are going to sit on your routes more. You can't go deep. So you really have to drill that in practice. It's not just going to happen on game day.
Joe, obviously you got your first scrimmage on Friday. What do you expecting, and what are your goals, and what do you want to do when you get out there?
I'm not worried about the scrimmage yet. I'm worried about what day is it? Tuesday, Monday, whatever day it is, I'm worried about tomorrow. We're going to watch this film, and then I'm going to go out and get better tomorrow, and then I'm going to get better the next day. And then I don't know what day it is, but however many days we have till Friday, I'm going to get better every single day and then focus on that.
Are there any?
I noticed in your Heisman acceptance speech, you mentioned all your offensive linemen real early, and you just said you want your linemen to be your best friends. I mean, obviously, that's something that is important. How do you work on it? I mean, is it just something that you have to work on, or is it something that's just natural for you? Or how do you go about creating that relationship with your O-line like that?
It's just natural. You just be yourself in front of them, talk to them, have conversations about them, be confident in the huddle. O-linemen really, they have a good BS meter, and if you're not confident in the huddle and saying the play confidently, then they're going to think that you don't know what you're doing. And so that's something that I've really taken to heart and tried to do.
Hey guys, just a couple more here for Joe. We only have a couple more minutes.
Yeah, Joe, you were talking about going to go watch tape. Are there any plays from today where you want to see, like maybe one or two plays that you like, you're kind of interested to see what it looks like on tape?
Yeah, for sure. After I really wasn't sure what to expect out of the first red zone day, so I'm, excited to see how the defense kind of changed up the certain coverages they played, how, where I could have gone with the ball, where I couldn't have gone with the ball. It's just all about understanding what you're trying to do on every single play.
Hey, Joe, when you were asked about the wide receivers, you seemed very aware that the season opener is getting close. It's only 26 days away. Now that you're into this and starting practices, how confident do you feel, given the current makeup of the offseason and things leading up to the game, that you can be ready for week one as a rookie quarterback?
Very confident. I feel very comfortable with the offense right now. I feel very comfortable with my guys. And I think we're going to be pretty good on offense. I'm excited more so than nervous, I would say.
Does that emotion surprise you that you aren't nervous? I mean, it's human nature, starting a new job like that.
Absolutely not. Have you ever heard anything else about me about being nervous?
Point taken.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it. Joe, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Joe.